right, y'all, what's going on? What's going on? So today I got my pumpkin frosty. Okay, I got my pumpkin frosty. I also got this other stuff, but this is why we're here. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe. Even if you aren't new, if you haven't subscribed, definitely go and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know things I see us try, things I see us cook. Interact with us because we do like to hear from you. When it's our grace and get started, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this food that we're about to receive for nourishment of our bodies and health. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, so I got some more rolled tacos. Okay, I also want to try this jalapeno or this spicy Mexican pizza. I tried to get it last night, but they didn't have they said they didn't have the pizza shells to make the Mexican pizza. So I said, well, I'm getting rolled tacos like I don't even know how many times I'm gonna get them before they take them away again. But anywho, I'm gonna try this. I wonder what's different about, I mean, obviously jalapeno. I don't know what else. I think they might have put a different, did they put a different sauce on here? Y'all know I be trying stuff. I do not be looking up what the meaning, significance, whatever of it is. I'll just have issues. Okay, so this is what it looked like it had jalapeno. Man.
What happened? Mommy, what you drop?
Did I say grace? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the food we're about to receive for we started to receive for nourishment of our bodies and health. In Jesus' name we pray, man. The baby eating some Wendy's, well, fries anyway. I did get him a 4-for-4, but it was doubtful that he's gonna eat it. I got the spicy ranch and the guacamole. I still feel like these are overcooked. My ones I had last night was overcooked too, but listen, I'm gonna get them a couple times, so hopefully one of the times they won't be overcooked. But you know, it's out of town, out of the country, and while I was gone, they released two things that I was definitely gonna try. It was the rolled tacos and that frosty. I feel like they released the frosty the day that I got to Greece. Stop screaming. It's a spider. Okay. It was a person next to me. I don't know.
Mommy,
Yeah.
I told you it's a spider.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited about these rolled tacos. These are like one of my favorite things that Taco Bell have ever released on the menu. I don't know why I love them so much, but I do. I was seeing somebody who live in, I just pulled into this apartment complex that's like kind of near where I got the food from. And I seen somebody roll through with they rolled through with a garbage bag on their car, and I used to do that. And when the very first apartment complex I ever lived in. When I had moved off campus during college. I got 2 necklaces on now. This one, and my name in Greek. It was one of the gifts that we got from our travel planners. That's all so cute. And it actually say what it's supposed to say, because like we went a couple different places and like they would see like the native or the locals will see it and they be like, oh, like, and they be like, oh, and they say whoever name it is, and they be like, what?
Can we have a Chucky doll?
No,
Mommy, how do you buy this Chucky doll?
I didn't buy it.
It's for free?
Yeah. No, they would read what it's saying. Like, oh, okay, say what it's supposed to say. So that was cool. Also, I wanted to tell y'all. So this is why I was just out. I've been needing to tell y'all this, but I got fired by my nail tech, y'all. I got fired. Now, I haven't ever had to take the bubby to. I usually always have scheduled my nail appointments on. I have days that I don't have the bubby, so any like maintenance stuff like that, like whether I get my hair done or nail, whatever, feet, whatever, I schedule, or anything that I probably could take him, but I don't really want him to sit, through that for a long time. I'll schedule on the day that I don't have him. Well, I had a nail appointment scheduled, or I scheduled my nail appointment, and I wasn't supposed to have a bubby. I was gonna like have my sister-in-law was gonna take him a day earlier than what I had planned. Well, actually, I got my nails the Saturday before I left. She was actually just gonna keep them the rest of the week. Like, she was gonna get them one of the days before and keep them the rest of the week until it was time for him to be exchanged with his male parental unit. But then she had remembered that she had class. He was out of town and wasn't getting back until the same day that I was flying out. But even before she was gonna keep him for the whole week, she was gonna get him the day before that I needed to leave, just so I could, have more time free time to be able to, do whatever I need to do to get ready to leave. So I could just get up and go the next day. But she had forgot that she had class, and so she couldn't keep them, or she wasn't getting them until later in the day.
Mommy, I'm something.
So I end up having to have him or whatever, right? So when I realized I was gonna have him, I tried to move my nail appointment because, like I said, she had ended up getting him.
Mommy, I'm done.
She did get him during the week, but I had to get him back because you want some. So she did end up getting them throughout the week, but she had school. And I think she had something else to do or whatever. So, but when she got them, I was like, okay, well, if I still go on Saturday, I'm gonna have to take him with me. But And I didn't really know what her policy was on kids, the nail tech. So I was just like, well, let me just try to move my appointment to the next day after she had after my sister-in-law had got him, because I knew I wouldn't have him or whatever. And so I was trying to schedule this appointment. I probably could have just texted her. I probably should have texted her to see if she could book it for me, because when I tried to move my appointment, even though it was showing this appointment available when I tried to book it, when I got to the rescheduling, it was just like, this appointment is no longer available, pick another one. But when I kept going on the site, it said it was available. You know, it gave me that a day and appointment time, excuse me. I was like, okay, well, forget it. I'm just gonna have to go on Saturday and take it with me. Now, again, I said that I wasn't clear on what her policy was for kids. Some people be like, you know, no kids, nurture people, and I didn't see like her policies on her website, but she does have them on Instagram. I know now. I don't know. And was it on there? I don't know. I saw it after the fact. Okay. But I think I had looked before, because I think it was another time where I was potentially would have had to take him, but I just ended up working out where I didn't have him. But I didn't see anywhere like on the website where, you know, it tells you what her policies are as far as like that is concerned. It's other stuff like, you know, if you book an appointment where you want, like, you have inspiration or whatever, or you could pick like either artist inspiration or your personal inspiration, but then you gotta send a pic before she'll even accept the appointment or whatever. Anywho, so it's stuff like, it was stuff related to that. It was not like all the policies or whatever. So anywho, yeah, I feel like it should be on the website too, because that's where where booking is. People can, you know, it's more. I feel like it should be everywhere you are conducting your business. So on your website, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, she has all three of these. So anywho, so like I said, I wasn't clear on what the policy was, and I could have just reached out to her and asked her. I could have also reached out to her and been like, hey, is it okay if I'll have my son? I usually don't have him, but it's okay if I bring him. But I was like, skip. But anywho, my plan was to just, you know, hit her policy. Now I do know that one of her policies is that you have to wear a mask. So I was like, okay, I'll make sure he got a mask. I make sure his tablet and his headphones are charged. That way he'll just be sitting there on his tablet. He won't even, you know, you barely know he was there. Somehow my during the appointment, like, his tablet and headphones died, and I was just so confused. I was just like, I literally had them on the charger all night, so I don't know why they were dead. Both of them had died, but I remember the light coming on for the headphones and the iPad. I remember I don't remember seeing that it was charging, but I don't see how it was not charging because it was in the wall, whatever. Anywho, so, you know, I get to the appointment, I have him, like, she didn't turn me away or anything. I was just like, hey girl, like, my apologies, I have a visitor, you know, I had to bring him or whatever. I typically don't have him, but I had to bring him. And she didn't cancel my appointment or say that I could, that she wasn't going to service me because I had him. But as the appointment progressed, especially in the beginning, I could tell that her energy was off. Like, it was different. Like, she was definitely perturbed or annoyed, upset or whatever. Like, she low-key was kind of it seemed like, one, she was trying to hurry up and get me out of there, and just slamming stuff around a little bit. She wasn't talking to me at all, for real. And when the appointment that we had before, we was we had a time, you hear me? It was so much fun. We talked about all type of stuff. It was dope. So the fact that you know, she wasn't talking to me at all, I could tell that clearly it was a problem. But again, I could have reached out to her beforehand. It's spicy.
Mine's a little bit spicy.
Yeah. I could have reached out to her beforehand just to ask or get clarification or whatever like that, but I just didn't. Boy. Yeah, so you know, but you know, I like, and she is in one of those places that's like kind of like a salon loft or whatever, so it's kind of small. The space is small. There's not a whole lot of people for extra. There's not a lot of room for extra bodies in there to begin with. But yeah, I was going out of town. And I needed my nails done. Y'all seen I had how many nails I had missing? At least one or two, and then other was lifting or whatever. I think also she probably was perturbed because my nails do be a mess when I don't get them done as often. She said 4 to 6 weeks is a sweet spot or whatever, as far as like getting your nails redone or whatever before like lifting and stuff occurs, or that you lose a nail. And like I said, I think I had like 2 nails missing maybe, and then the other ones some others were lifting and stuff. So she might have been upset about that, child. I don't even know. But she still serviced me. And she like I said, the bubby's iPad and headphones end up dying. And so then that's when he still wasn't like a terror. Like he wasn't, I know the bubby turned up most of the time, but the only thing, he did keep taking his mask off. He's 3, so it's like, you know, whatever. You know, it's hard to, you know, for him to be trained to do that. But I was trying to put it back, or I was trying to tell him to put it back on, but he was definitely being defiant and wasn't listening. But she didn't want me to do anything with my nails while she was still doing them. Then she helped him put his mask on. Then she also helped like get a charger so that his iPad could charge a little bit so that he could play it or whatever. And then it was crazy because the time when me and her both were trying to tell him to put his mask back on, he was not complying. And it just seemed like she was like kind of like hyperventilating, like with, I don't know what it was, if it was anger, fear, whatever, but this was hyperventilating. Like she was visibly up fucking set, okay? So then she ended up having to help him put his mask on. Like I said, she did help get a charger so that his iPad could charge or whatever. And by the end of the appointment, she still wasn't really talking to me or whatever, but she was saying, like, if I said something, she would respond. But like, homegirl was just pissed or whatever, right? So then I was like, oh, I guess I'm probably in trouble. Like I could already sense or whatever, but she didn't say anything to me immediately after. But like a couple days later, as I'm in Greece or whatever, she sent me an email. It was just like, you know, it was a notice of discontinuation of services or something like that. And basically, like, she was just saying, she didn't even really explain why. She just said that that she wasn't capable of meeting my needs or whatever. That's basically what it said. And then she even sent me references for other nail techs that I could use or whatever, but said that like, if, you know, it was something about like as she evaluates her clientele, or I don't know if that was, no, maybe that was on Instagram. She then sent me no, what am I trying to say, y'all? My uncle calling me, but I'm gonna call him back later. What did she say? I'm doing all this and I need to be getting to this Frosty, man, but I just gotta finish the story. But let me taste the Frosty first because it's also melting. It's melting.
Mommy, can I taste the
yes.
Eat the frosting?
Frosty. Okay, it's pumpkin frosty.
Mommy, can I have some?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes. Immediately yes. Mm-hmm.
Ew. That's disgusting.
How dare you?
Just disgusting.
How dare you?
Mommy, what they have?
This is really good.
Mommy, what they have in there?
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice? Ew. Yeah.
That's disrespectful to baby.
Huh?
That's disrespectful. I'll kick you out of my car right now. Don't talk about my Don't talk about my Frosty like that.
Your Frosty is sticky. I mean, Frosty is good.
Okay, so
Mommy, Mommy's
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So then she said,
Mommy's not popping me.
you know, discontinuation of services. She's like, any future appointments will not be accepted, because you can book an appointment, but then she has to accept it in order, and if you not scheduled or on a schedule until she accepts the appointment. So then either in the midst of or after she sent me the email, then she goes on a, what I would like to call an Instagram rant or whatever, but I guess just basically pinning her policies. You know how you can, on Instagram, you can pin stuff to like different, like you can make highlights or whatever. So she started making stories and pinning them to the highlights. One was, I don't know, there were a couple of different ones, but definitely one of them was like, no kids, no kids, no kids, no kids. And she was just like, you know, kids are a liability. They are a distraction. They could get into stuff that is harmful or whatever to them. And basically she has a policy where she just doesn't allow kids to be in the salon or whatever, which is fine. Listen, I completely am not trying to play a victim or anything. Like, a policy is a policy. Like, I did try to do other things to like make sure that I wasn't breaking the policy, but I had to bring him. It was just, I was trying to even, you know, switch my appointment so that I didn't have him with me and stuff like that, but I had to, you know, I had to take him or whatever. So it's understandable. Like I said, a policy is a policy. You know, if people have policies for a reason, blase skip, she's allowed to pick and choose who she wants to, you know, render services to. That's totally fine. I'm just like, dang, that's effed up. One, the passive aggressiveness as far as like, you know, venting on the story versus like having a conversation with me or whatever. But maybe she feel like she ain't owe me that or whatever. Maybe other people feel like that too. She did say that she reserves the right to, like, you know, basically pick and choose her clientele or whatever. And like, as she evaluates, you know, the growth or direction of her business, she can choose who her clientele is, or who she would like her clientele to be and stuff like that, you know. But I don't know, I just feel like, I mean, I have been going to this particular girl for a minute or whatever, and I'm just like, dang, like, we couldn't have had a conversation about it, like, hey, you know, I know stuff happened, blase skip, you know, maybe if, like, just know that it's a policy of mine not to have kids in my salon, and if you can't adhere to that, then, or if it's, you know, let's have a conversation, you know, or like, just let's not let it happen again, either reschedule or, you know, just don't come, but don't bring your kid or whatever. I don't know, I just feel like, was it not worth a conversation, honestly, you know? But it is what it is. I have another lady that I can go to, or two other people that I could go to, but this one was just kind of convenient because it was right next to, or not right to, it was close to my house or whatever. It wasn't that far. The other one is going to be as far, and I just hate it. That's the reason why I found this girl, is because, or tried to find somebody else, because the other girl was just so far or whatever. But any event, and then she said something else on the story. I don't know, but also I feel like, I just feel like she don't have no kids, and, you know, obviously, while I try my best to, you know, navigate or do stuff, yeah, like I said, most of the time I know when I don't have him, so I'm gonna schedule stuff when I don't have him, just so that I don't have to, you know, do, you know, deal with any of that. People don't, and also, like, the Bubby be turned up and stuff like that. That's what I was gonna say. The Bubby be turned up, but he was not turned up in her salon. Like, he wasn't running around, he wasn't like messing with stuff. I did get kind of nervous when his iPad died, 'cause I'm like, damn, he not gonna sit here and, you know, be content for, you know, however long. And it was still quite a bit of, she had only just like cleaned up my nails and like got it ready to put the acrylic on. I'm like, yeah, he ain't, like, that was probably still another like hour and a half away from her being done. I'm like, yeah, he definitely ain't gonna sit there this long. But, and so even through her frustration, she still, you know, helped get him situated or whatever, probably just for her own sake, so that, whatever. But he was chill when his iPad was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even when it wasn't, he was the only issue was getting this little boy to put his mask back on because he was not listening. And if she had let me, or, you know, allow, I could have, but she just didn't want me to, but, you know, mess up my nails or whatever. But I would have popped his little behind, or, you know, and helped him put his mask back on and stuff like that. Like, because he at one point threw the mask on the floor. Like, but yeah, so that's my story. I got fired from my nail tech, so I gotta go elsewhere next time I get my nails done. But I just thought, I don't know. Clearly, I'm definitely bothered by it because I think that people who don't have kids don't get it, man. Like, you don't get that sometimes ish happen. Like, while I can plan everything, and that's just in life in general. You can try and plan out every little detail or whatever. You think you got stuff together, and it just sometimes don't work out. Like, and this was one of them cases where, like, I tried to troubleshoot or navigate, or make it so that what was I saying? Because the baby back here turning up. Oh, that's what I'm gonna say. I feel like people who don't have kids don't get it. Like, sometimes, man, you gotta move and shake with these kids. Like I said, as much as I try to troubleshoot and navigate that or whatever, sometimes it don't be panning out the way I need it to or whatever. So, but it is what it is, whatever. I get, and also just the tone of, like, some of the stories, I'm just like, that. But then she put all of that stuff on her highlights and stuff like that now. But I feel like her policies also just weren't as readily available as I needed them to, so I could see if it was in fact her policy that she didn't allow like children or some people just don't allow additional guests in general. Don't matter if they're not a child or not. You know what I'm saying? So I get that too. But yeah, she was saying, like, you know, I have the right to basically, like, not service people if they don't respect my boundaries, or my boundaries, basically, like, my boundaries, or, you know, things that standards, or my boundaries or standards, or something like that. And I'm just like, damn, like, you act like I done told you what you was gonna do, or I'm trying to, you know, run your business. And then she also said that, like, I think if it was on, I don't know if it was on the no kids story part, or on that part of the story, but it was just like, you know, if you do maybe break one of her policies, or if you brought your kids, that you would immediately be, you know, turned away, or you wouldn't be serviced, or something like that. Maybe I don't know if it was specifically just to the kids, or just if you wanted the policies in general, if you didn't adhere to, you would be turned away. But she didn't do that for me. Like, and maybe that was the respect thing, or maybe that was the thing. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna still service you, but then you're not coming back up in here, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that was like her doing me a favor. I don't really know. I have no idea, because again, we never had a conversation. She, you know, we went through with the appointment or whatever, and then a couple days later, I get the, you know, "Dear John, you're fired from being a client of my business" email. So yeah. This Frosty is what I thought it was gonna be. It's super good.
Is you done?
You don't want no more, dude?
No, you done.
No, I'm not done.
Why?
All right, he's clearly, I've been wrestling with him this whole video. Okay, but that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. Let us know things you like to see us try, things you like to see us cook. Interact with us, because we do like to hear from you. And subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. He is also talking to little
Mommy.
Listen, the Bubby is.
Boy said hi to me.
He is off the chain, and we all know this. However, he was fine. Like, he was, and I'm not a person that, like, you know, I know. Listen, I know my kids. I know they, you know, they be bad sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But we have challenges as far as behavior is concerned. But he was fine. Like, the Bubby wasn't tripping. I think if he would have not even, you wouldn't even seen or heard from the whole appointment had his iPad not died, and I was like sick about that because, like I said, I tried to be proactive. Like, you know, I made sure I fed him. He did use the bathroom before we left, but he did end up having to go to the bathroom during the appointment and stuff like that. But yeah, but I don't know, just the way that the stories was like, it was like homegirl really just felt like I just completely disrespected her, and I'm like, damn, like, but I didn't even bother to like try and reach out to her or whatever like that, because clearly she'd already made up her mind. I'm not going to try to convince her otherwise and stuff like that. And it is what it is. There's plenty of other people that I can go to. So yeah, and especially being, I don't know, just the tone of like kids are a liability, they're a distraction, like just it wasn't positive things that she said. Like I get, kids definitely can, get into stuff or whatever, and obviously that stuff isn't safe, like the chemicals and everything that she uses or that comes with doing nails. Anyway, yes, that stuff is dangerous. You definitely don't want no kids to get into it or whatever, but also that's definitely, obviously up to the parents to make sure that they watching their kid and stuff like that. But listen, I know folks who don't I don't know what you're talking about. There are people who don't be watching their kids or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that just let their kids run them up. I know quite a few people, so
the other toy.
I get it. I mean, like I said, I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to play victim. Like, a rule is a rule, a policy is a policy. I broke a policy, so these are said consequences of said policy. I don't know. I guess I would have liked to maybe have a conversation, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. On that note, I'm a peace out on y'all. Thank you. Oh, I already did that. All right. Peace out.